On Easter Sunday, March 30th, 1975, a small home on Minor Avenue in Hamilton, Ohio, became the site of a massacre that remains the deadliest shooting by a lone gunman in the state's history. 11 members of the same family were executed in cold blood, not by a stranger, not by an outsider, but by one of their own. This is the story of James Urban Ruppert, the man behind the Easter Sunday Massacre. James Urban Ruppert was born on March 29, 1934. The day before his birthday would come to mean something far more sinister decades later. His upbringing was marked by coldness and dysfunction. His mother, Charity, reportedly told him she had wished for a daughter instead. His father, Leonard, was a violent man who showed little affection for James or his older brother, Leonard Jr. When James was just 12, his father died from tuberculosis. In the aftermath, Leonard Jr. stepped into the role of patriarch and bully. He relentlessly teased James, adding fuel to the fire of a deeply unhappy home life. By age 16, James attempted suicide. He tried to hang himself with a bedsheet. He failed and came back to the same broken family dynamic. As an adult, James Ruppert seemed forgettable, quiet, polite, and bookish. He stood just 5 feet 6 inches and weighed only 135 pounds. To the outside world, he was harmless. But inside, James harbored resentment, shame, and jealousy. He had dropped out of college after 2 years. Though trained as a draftsman, by 1975 he was unemployed and drinking heavily. He lived with his mother, unmarried, and increasingly bitter about his failures. Meanwhile, his brother Leonard Jr. appeared to have it all: a degree in electrical engineering, a large family of 8 children, and a successful career. Leonard had even married one of James' former girlfriends. To make matters worse, James owed both his mother and brother money. His mother had threatened to kick him out multiple times. The tension in that house was building, and James was sinking. March 30th, 1975, Easter Sunday. Earlier that day, the family gathered at Charity's home as they did for holidays. 11 people were in the house: James' mother, his brother Leonard Jr., Leonard's wife, and their 8 children, aged 4 to 17. At around 4 p.m., James retrieved a .357 Magnum .22 caliber handguns and a rifle. Then he walked through the house, methodically shooting each family member at close range. There were no survivors. He shot his mother, his brother, his sister-in-law, and all 8 children. Police were called to the scene later that evening after relatives reported the family hadn't shown up to a planned gathering. What they found inside was a nightmare, a bloodbath in the quiet town of Hamilton. James Ruppert was arrested without incident. In the months that followed, the question was not whether he did it, but why. Psychiatrists deemed him mentally ill. He was ultimately tried and found guilty on 2 counts of aggravated murder, his mother and his brother, but was found not guilty by reason of insanity on the remaining 9. He was sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences, serving time in multiple Ohio correctional facilities. In 2019, due to declining health, Ruppert was transferred to Franklin Medical Center in Columbus. On June 4, 2022, James Ruppert died from natural causes at the age of 88. The Easter Sunday Massacre remains Ohio's deadliest mass shooting by a single gunman. It's a tragedy that not only devastated a family, but also stunned an entire nation. James Ruppert's story is a chilling reminder: sometimes the greatest horrors aren't committed by strangers in the night, but by those closest to us. Behind every crime is a trail of pain, a storm of mental collapse, and often a set of warning signs ignored or misunderstood. In remembering this dark chapter of American history, we must reflect not just on what happened, but on what might have been done to prevent it, because the cost of silence was 11 lives.